Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked, hour number 2 of USA Prepares. That's USA, PREPARES.com. We broadcast 2 hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 11 a.m. Central Time on GCNlive.com. Also picked up on Republic Broadcasting and affiliates throughout the country, like KLID, AM 1340, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. I'm delighted to be broadcasting with Marty Barrett today. Welcome, Marty.
Hey, since last week you got me all stirred up about taxes. I never realized how many taxes I was paying everywhere. So I've got my notebook and pencil ready for all your hints on how I can do something about it.
I just heard a tax deduction.
Yeah. Perfectly quiet until now.
Yeah. Well, your tax deduction is in class with us. That's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just have a few disclaimers here, class. This is part 2 of Start Your Own Business. Make your passion your business. Make your hobby your business. Extreme Tax Deductions part 2. All of the statements that I make are based on life experiences, what others have experienced firsthand. They contain my opinions. Now, please proceed at your own risk. Now, just to nail home this point, don't believe anything that I say. Do your own do your own research, and so consider this class as entertainment. And Marty, last week I asked you this question of all the people that you know, and you know many people that I don't know. Who's better off? Those that have their own businesses or those who have jobs? Who's better off?
I would say their own businesses. And you have to like the boss at that point.
Yep.
So I think, and it sounds like you're going to do me more help with taxes that way.
I am. So we're gonna start our own business. So Marty, now you are a college instructor and you have been in the hard sciences for a couple decades. So it's not something that's new to you, but you haven't started your own business. But you've done things that could be in your business. So what would you like your business to be? We'll build a business around you right here in this classroom. And I'll tell you, I'll just list off extreme tax deductions, and then you can ask me all the questions you'd like about that. So let's build your business. What's it going to be?
Okay, I think I could be a professional tutor. Certainly on the side, helping high school kids or kids in other colleges to get up to snuff on the hard sciences.
Okay. So these are children who have a little bit of difficulty understanding the classroom material. Maybe they are stuck on some points that need to be refreshed that they should have learned, could have learned, didn't learn. Maybe just need some further clarification, or maybe they need a lot of help. But so there are clients or customers out there that you can help. Is that correct?
Yes, and usually I get them a couple weeks before the final exam. I've had some that I brought from a failure up to a 77 on a long weekend, 3 days. But the student practically lived here. He dreamt science, and we got him through it. So I feel like my business could be successful, and maybe I can resist paying some taxes along the way.
Okay. And we're not talking about tax evasion, class. That's illegal. But tax avoidance is perfectly legal. Okay. So I'm going to just list, Marty Barrett, we'll call these business use of the home, potential business expenses / tax deductions. Okay. So for office, and I sat down at the computer at the kitchen last night, and I just typed off a whole bunch of these things. I'm just going to read them, and then we'll discuss them. So office supplies, pencils, paper, pens, notebooks, business cards, stamps, envelopes, flyers, posters, signs. Office equipment, calculator, telephone set, telephone answering machine, a PC monitor, like a second monitor, so you have two, and do 2 screens at one time. PC headphones, PC microphones, PC software, PC tech support, PC repair, the printer, PC peripherals, and software subscriptions. Communications, the cell phone additional warranty plan, the cell phone case, the cell phone repairs, a voice recorder. For a security system, an electronic security system, system installation, monthly subscription fees, security system repairs, a dog food, dog house, dog bed, dog collar, dog license, dog medications, vet appointments and visits, a camera, and I even have dog repairs. And what do I mean?
Oh, we got those.
Fixing
3 dogs. We got some dog repairs.
Yeah, okay. And then preventative measures. So cats. Cats prevent mice damage. Certain businesses, this will apply to. The purchase of a cat. Adoption fees. Cat collar, cat food, cat medications, vet appointments and visits. Tools. Hand tools, power tools. In the electrical aisle. New circuits, new outlets, new switches. Electrical upgrades. Okay? Extension cords, power strips, surge protection, light bulbs. Yeah, light bulbs. Appliances. Coffee maker. Can you deduct a coffee maker? I'm going to tell you how if you want to know. A mini refrigerator, carpet cleaning equipment, stereo system and speakers, a window air conditioner, dehumidifier, television, cords, cables. Okay? Office furniture. Desks, chairs, rug, wall-to-wall carpet installation, lamps, paintings, pictures, office decor, chairs, mats, and here's some supplies, cleaning supplies, office paint, house modifications. Yeah, if you have to modify your house for your business, let's say you have a client that needs a wheelchair ramp. Oh, yeah, that's bona fide. Bathroom modifications, same. Tree removal. Let's say there's a tree in the way of parking. Driveway modifications. Then the expenses that pertain to the house. Let's say you have a 10-room house, 1/10 of, or if you have a 7-room house, 1/7 of. 1/7 of what? Repairs. That'd be roof, siding, driveway, plumbing, heating, electrical. Okay. Maintenance of those same things: roof, siding, driveway, plumbing, heating, electrical, etc. Water bill, electric bill, real estate taxes, homeowner association fees, neighborhood dues, exterior painting, lawn maintenance, whether you do it yourself and buy a lawnmower or whether you have someone do it for you, trash removal, the lawnmower maintenance, fuel filters and oil, travel at 54 cents a mile traveled, and meals, business meetings at 50% for the meals, and if they're educational meals, 100%. And, of course, clothing. So I rattled those off very quickly. So let's go into your business. And let's see if I've got this right. So we're going to be tutoring some people, some of them young, and some of them maybe a little older than that, because you have some, don't you have older students attending some of your classes?
My students vary in age from 13 to 77.
Okay.
So we've got a wide range of people.
And this is college, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to be teaching some of these people at your home. Are there any of those potential deductions that I mentioned that piqued your interest? Like, how would I do that? Okay, let's go for it.
Well, one thing I was thinking about, I wanted to add to your list, is when you talked about the software and such, I might have to get a consultant to make a nice website for myself.
Okay.
And I'm presuming that's tax deductible?
Absolutely. So we have some ways to point. One of our instructors, Ed Marvini, is in Florida. He can do that for you, and he has a special price for you. But you can have that done locally. You can learn how to do it yourself. You can hire somebody to do part of it. You can finish the rest of it. But if you are using that website for your business, those expenses are tax deductible, absolutely. And so is the cost of the web hosting company. So if you use Bluehost and it's $5 per month, or you upgrade to a more expensive plan with more bandwidth, if you will, you can spend more. But yes, all of that is deductible because it is a business expense. It's all bona fide. And so you're consulting, yes. If you have to go to eBay and buy a book, let's say you buy a book on how to develop a website using WordPress, because you need to do that. That is a deduction as well.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm unstoppable now.
Well, no, it's not. There's no stopping this. You're absolutely right. So I'm sitting here right next to a case of notebooks. I went to the Chinese factory outlet class. That's Walmart, and they had notebooks at the start of school, and they were selling them they used to sell them for 10 cents. Well, they jacked up the price. They went to 15 cents. They went to 17 cents. So they were selling these spiral notebooks, and let me just tell you how many pages they are. They are one subject, 70 sheets, college ruled. Some of them have blue covers, green covers, yellow covers. So I bought 3 cases of them. At 17 cents a piece, why would I not do that? So I have these. Now, I'm sitting at the studio. I have 3 or 4 of these in front of me. And when I'm on with Dr. Joel Wallach and Dr. Norman Shealy, I take my notes. And so it's part of my business, this radio broadcast business. I have them all. So if I get audited and they say, Finelli, show me what this deduction is. I'll say, well, I'll tell you, can I show you a picture? I've got a picture right here on my little camera. I can show you that. But if you want, I can come back in a couple of weeks and I'll bring I'll bring my hand truck and I'll bring these cases and notebooks in. But I have them. So that's a legitimate deduction. And so is the Bic pen that I bought several packages of at the Chinese factory outlet. I think they're like $1 for 10 or so. I use them. And so that's another deduction. So yes, it is unstoppable. And so is the electricity that powers your computer that runs the internet. So do you have another question that relates to what I might have said?
Well, one thing, I was looking at the legal deductions online, and I noticed they said no dogs.
That's crazy.
Do you think that'd be okay? Anyway, how would you explain around that?
All right. Well, I can use my case, and then I can use your case.
Okay.
So right now, we've had as many as 5 dogs right here at the farm. And if someone comes up to our farm, they are the first bell to ring. They bark. They say somebody's here. Now, why is that important? Well, for me, it's important for my security. Okay? It lets me know that someone's here and that I wasn't expecting. Because if I was expecting them, I'd be looking for them. Okay?
Right.
So I'm being surprised. It could be the UPS driver. It could be the United States Postal Service carrier. It could be somebody I don't know. It could be someone intending to do me harm or my family harm. Okay, right now, there's an escapee from our local jail. And he's heading north from the jail, and my dogs are on patrol. Is that a security system? Is that bona fide? You bet. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Barrett's with us, and we're talking about extreme tax deductions. Marty, I mentioned the dog, and you said that your research says you cannot deduct a dog on your as an expense on your income tax, and I'm saying that's absolutely nonsense. However, make sure you do your own research, class. So I have a dog who's an English Mastiff, and an English Mastiff typically weighs up to 230 pounds, typically 160 to 230 pounds. Ours is on the high end of that weight. There is no question in my mind that when he's outside, and he's outside a lot, that if someone comes to the house and he just stands at the driveway, they're intimidated. Okay? Absolutely. And if this escapee comes on our property and sees our dog and our dog barks at him, he's not going to come forward. He's going to go the other way. No question in my mind. So that is one part of our security system. And we have other dogs who are on patrol outside all the time. Okay? So is it bona fide? Yes. And
more than one dog would be okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And now bear in mind, let me say this. Let me go back just a little bit. I attended a seminar many, many years ago, back in 1980. It was about how to invest in real estate and become financially independent. Not wealthy, but independent so you can be in control of your life. And I was late for the seminar. I paid $495 for the seminar, and it had a money-back guarantee. So I thought, well, I can go, and if I don't like it, I'll get my money back if I leave before 12 noon on day number 1. It was a 2-day seminar, Saturday and Sunday. So I went to the seminar, and I walked in and sat down, and it was a big seminar, like 500 people or so in this room. And the seminar presenter said, so how many of you have been audited? And I sat in the back so I could see people in front of me, and a couple hands went up, just a few. And I sheepishly raised my hand, and yeah, I've been audited. And the seminar presenter said, the rest of you are paying too much in taxes. Okay, and that goes back to our class number 1 of last week. If you haven't been audited, you're probably paying too much in taxes because you're not taking those extreme tax deductions that you are entitled to. Okay, now what kind of dog do you have?
3 rescues.
Okay, well, all right, and all right. Let me ask you, what size are they? And just give me a weight.
one 60, two 40s.
Okay, one of them weighs 60 pounds, two of them weigh 40 pounds. Okay. Is anyone a little concerned if they come to your house about the 60-pound dog maybe not being friendly? Is that a possibility?
More so one of the 40-pound dogs. It's the boss.
Okay, all right. Well, here's the point. So you have your class, and sometimes you're going to be teaching people that you don't know very well in your own home, okay? And your husband may not be there. Is that right?
True.
Mm-hmm. So you may be all alone. Okay. So that dog or those 3 dogs are a deterrent, and they are part of your security system. So if I were you and I made that choice to deduct the expenses of the dogs, the veterinarian supplies, the vet visits, the travel to buy the dog food at 54 cents a mile and back, and the dog food, and the supplements and all that kind of expense that you go through. And in your neck of the woods, I believe you have dog licenses, right? You have to pay a fee in order to have a dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so with all those expenses to have man's best friend and the security system, I would deduct it. If it were me, I would deduct it, and I do. And I would be prepared to defend that. And if audited, I would say, "Are you kidding me? I'm alone. I'm teaching, and I absolutely have to have protection." Not only that, the dog's probably going to bark first, bite first, and then I'm going to pull out my gun. Which, by the way, that's on line 15 as another deduction. Seriously.
Now, what if my dog needed surgery? That would they feel that was exorbitant?
Well, it's not what they feel. It's what you feel. You just have to defend it. Now, if you have an investment in your security system, and you would, because they don't come pre-programmed, you actually have to train your security system, don't you?
Yes.
So you have an investment of time and money in that security system, and they don't last forever. I mean, these security systems fail at some point, typically around 10 years. They fail.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this investment, and if that investment needs repairs, absolutely, it is an expense against the business, in my opinion. If your business requires it. Now, if your business doesn't require it and you just think it's cool to have a dog, that's kind of hard to justify. But in your case, I think it's absolutely 100% bona fide, just as I do in my case. Yeah. So think about some of these other things that I've listed, and we'll talk about them when we come back. Marty Barrett's with us. Extreme Tax Deductions, Part 2. Class, we're talking about extreme tax deductions, all bona fide, in my opinion. Marty Barrett's with us, and we're building her business, which is a tutorial business where she's going to instruct people who need help in the hard sciences at the college and high school level. Marty, do you have any questions about some of those extreme tax deductions that I read off before?
I do, but first I wanted to add something to your list. I'm getting all excited about this. Membership to professional organizations. I have to be current in the field, so that would certainly be a deduction.
Yes, and because it's educational, if you have to travel to that location, let's say it's let's say it's more than a mile away, you can deduct to and from travel expenses at 54 cents a mile, plus your meals at 100% of the cost of your meals. Now, that doesn't mean you can go crazy and have, $1,000 dinner. It has to be within reason, okay? As far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't waste money. So if I'm in a situation like that, I'm going to have an inexpensive but healthy meal. I'm probably not going to spend more than $15 or $18 for a dinner. I'm not going to spend more than $10 for a lunch. That's without the gift that I'd be giving the waiter or waitress. So
while you're talking about limits,
yeah.
Are there limits on things like, I have 2 daughters. One bought an expensive $800 cell phone. The other went to garagesale.com in our local area and bought a $25 cell phone. Is there? Well, how do you know the limit?
I don't think so. What's reasonable? Now, as far as I can tell, it is within reason for some people to buy an $800 cell phone because they want a lot of bells and whistles and features and so forth. I'm with your other daughter who would spend the $25 if I were to buy one. I'm not going to because of my concerns about cell phones. But if you require a cell phone for your business, okay, if you think that contacting your clients promptly, on time, quickly is important, and you're not going to be at a computer for email all the time, and you think that is the way for you to be in contact, then absolutely it is deductible. Now, how much of it's deductible? How much do you use of that cell phone? So if you figure you use half of it for personal use and half of it for business, then you can deduct 50% for your business. If you use 90% of it for your business and 10% personally, then you deduct 90%. If you use all of it for your business, then you deduct all of it. Now that would be the cell phone bill, the taxes, the fees, the insurance on the cell phone, and the repairs should it, get dropped and broken. Now, if you were to buy a gold-plated or a gold case for it, 24 karat, 14 karat case, because you like the looks of it, I'd have a tough time justifying that. But even if it's an $800 phone, I think you can justify that.
Now, what if you had? We get our services like phone, landline, cable, and internet are all bundled together. How much of that could I deduct?
Okay. Well, how much of it do you use? So, for example, at our farmhouse, pretty much everything I do is based on the business. So, for example, when I call Marty Barrett, okay, and I've talked to you, let me just ask you openly and in public. When I'm on the phone with you, do we talk about USA Prepares? Do we talk about instruction? Do we talk about the radio broadcast? Do we talk about the topic? Is it germane to? Well, the last time we talked, was it germane to today's broadcast?
Yes.
Okay. And when you called me, was it germane to the broadcast? Didn't you have a couple questions?
Sure.
Okay, so those are all bona fide telephone calls. Now, if that's the kind of thing and of course we had some pleasantries, how's your husband, and, how are the children, and how are the puppies, and, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, 95%, 99% of our chat is about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what we're going to talk about, and, getting everybody on the same page. It's all business, in my opinion. So it's deductible. Now, in your case, the cable. Do you use your cable for watching things that you think are germane to your tutorial business? Are you going to use your internet feed for watching YouTube videos as to how to operate your own business, how to do a startup business, tax deductions? Are you going to produce a YouTube video or 2 or 3, or are you going to use the internet for producing lessons? If you are, you figure out, you determine, Marty Barrett, as the owner of the business, what percentage you are actually using of those services for your business. And then that would be the deduction percentage. Okay. Also, now, in my case, I don't watch hardly anything that is not germane to my business. Okay. If I watch something that some might call entertainment, like House of Cards, which is vile and filthy, I'll talk about that on the air. So can I deduct that portion of Netflix? Of course I can, because I'm teaching our class about that. Now, in your case, you have to find, what works for you and what is germane to your business. But yes, it is deductible at whatever percentage you feel is bona fide. Now, do you have to have any proof that you have a business? Any legal proof? Are you saying, do you have to register your business? Yes. Well, I have, our business is registered with the Secretary of State, USA Prepares. If you want to register your name, you can do that. If you want to have a corporation, let's say you're concerned that you might be sued for something. If you were making pickles and you thought, geez, I might be poisoning a few of my customers if they buy some pickles, so I want to have a corporate structure to protect my house, my car, my property from... Well, one of my service instructors here bid a person. Well, okay, you have insurance for that with your homeowners, don't you? Okay, got it. Yes, you do. But as far as asking for permission to start your business, in my opinion, now just about everybody will disagree with me, but in my opinion, you can start a business without formally requesting permission to start your business. Have I formally requested the county for permission to start my business? Absolutely not. No. What do I need them for? Well, how are they going to help me with my business? The only thing they're going to do is jump on me and demand that I produce more and more and more of whatever they want. And I don't need their help. I really don't. As a matter of fact, I think they're a nuisance. So I'm not going to do it. Well, it's just like you have a dog license. I don't have a dog license, and I'm not going to get one. But some people might arrest your dog if you don't have a dog license. If your dog gets out and you don't have a dog license, they might fine you. In my case, I make sure that doesn't happen. But I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get permission to start my business or operate my business. But I have registered the name USA Prepares to protect the brand. And yes, I do have a corporate structure. I do have a corporate structure because at one time we had meetups and we had preparedness expos, and somebody could slip and fall on a grape that somebody put just in front of them just so we would get sued. And to protect our family, I did form a corporate structure. But if I were teaching lessons here at the farmhouse on biology, chemistry, zoology, astrology, whatever it is, I would not. That's just my thought.
Now, did that cost for you to register your business with the government?
Yeah. It's $50 a year. Yes, I have to pay $50 to keep that name. $50 to register it, $50 a year to keep it.
Okay.
But if I had
the biggest thing I've learned from you today is the fact that not to be scared of an audit.
Absolutely not. It's the coolest thing. It really is. It's
I want you to describe your audit experiences.
You want me to do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So when our children were younger, 3 and 4 years old, I wanted them to see what this was like. And so Mrs. Finelli and I went to an audit at the IRS. And so we brought all of our documentation with us, our computer printouts and all that. And I said to Mrs. Finelli, look, this is going to take hours. So we're going to be here at least half a day. And the children are going to get hungry, they're going to get bored, they're going to get cranky. And if they do, just let them do it. Whatever it is they want to do, let them do it. Let them run wild. And normally they wouldn't. But, you keep them captive in a government office where, it's foreign to them, they're going to get a little different from what they would be at home. And
I think I might act up in that circumstance.
And it's tense, and you can see, the auditor isn't happy and smiling at us. He's shooting daggers at us across the audit table, right? And it's a government office, and it's not real pleasant. So the plan was to let the children do whatever they want to do. And if I said to Mrs. Finelli, look, the children are, can you do something? They're acting up a little bit. Please, it looks like our son is pulling the adding machine tape out of the calculator for the auditor. Can you, and he's looking at the calculator and typing on the keys. And can you do something? And if I say something like that, just ignore me. Just say yes. I'll be glad to, and ignore it. Just let him continue. Well, after a couple of hours,
children too.
Actually, well, yeah, that'd be a good. Well, you should actually bring a whole bunch of people because it's a great educational experience. And by the way, that is another tax deduction. Okay, so I would tell the auditor right away, hey, thanks so much for inviting me. This is a great educational experience. Now that just puts a line in the sand saying I'm going to deduct this as an educational experience, and including my meals, because yeah.
Just don't feed those kids first.
I might even, depending on how long it takes, I might even order pizza, right at the audit, have it delivered right there, and
and not share.
Well, I'd sell them half, if he, I would probably say, would you like to order? We're going Dutch treat. So what I did was I let the children go absolutely wild. Now it's not like they were like what you see currently in the stores with yelling and screaming and crying. It wasn't like that. But there were crackers, and there were, the cups that could spill at any second with water on them on the table. And they were looking at the books, and they were running around opening file cabinets, and it was great. It was really great. And so I would say to Mrs. Finelli, please, can you do something with the children? And she was perfect, absolutely perfect. She would nod and say yes and ignore me. And it just worked. Now, another thing is, you might think that you have to be civic-minded when you go to one of these audits. Bathe, the day before, just before you leave the house. There's nothing that says you have to bathe the week before. There's nothing that says you have to use deodorant. There's nothing that says you have to wear, clothes that have just been washed and not worn a couple times. So I think the plan, to get out of an audit quickly is to stink. Marty Barrett's with us. Marty, the hour's going really, really quickly, and we've got a lot more to cover. So would you consider coming back a couple more times? Because I don't think we're going to make it through The entire Extreme
Sure.
Tax Deductions.
Fridays?
Yeah, Fridays. Okay. So next week, can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be part 3 next week. So Marty, do you have any other questions?
One thing that I think I might be amiss on is I always assume that the guy that does my taxes is, when he submits those taxes, he's agreeing that if I'm audited, he goes with me. Is that the case?
Yeah. Well, do you have that in writing? Did he say, hey,
No.
And your guy's name is Joe, if I remember correctly, from
Right.
broadcast number 1? Yeah. So did Joe say, listen, Marty, it's okay. You know, you and your husband, I'm there. I'm with you. I'll be
No.
there. Has he said that?
Never said that.
Okay.
So,
Well,
so I can't assume that.
No. No, and by the way, is he available all year long, or does he, is he a snowbird? Does he go to Florida?
Yes, he does.
He does. So your guy works, hard, long hours during tax season, and then he's gone. Okay, so
Right.
you get the letter in the mail, you get the notice that you're going to be audited, and you call up Joe, and so, hey, Joe, listen, I'm so glad you're here. By the way, thanks for taking my call. My husband and I are getting audited. Remember you did our tax? Remember me, Marty Barrett?
Yeah.
Marty Barrett, Barret. Remember me?
That's how I started.
I sort of remember you. Well, we're getting audited, Joe, and so they say we got to be there on the 1st of next month. Can you be with us? Well, Marty, I'm with my family. I'm in Florida. You're 1,000 miles away. Geez, Marty. I don't think so.
He's in his second home that all of us dopes paid for.
Yeah. I don't want to say you're dopes, but I do want to say that you have been convinced that that's the way to do it because your neighbors have Joe do their taxes, and your friends do, and that's how you got recommended. Or you're in one of those clubs, maybe a women's club, or your husband is in a men's club, Kiwanis or Lions, or the Moose Club, or something like that. Somebody recommended Joe, didn't they? How'd you find him?
I don't remember how we found him. He's not real local either. He's a good 45 minutes away.
Okay, so somebody recommended him.
Yeah, somewhere along the line.
Okay. All right. Well, let me talk about this. I mentioned here's some extreme deductions, tools, hand tools. Okay, so you've got this room in your house, and it's the 3rd bedroom on the left, and you say, you know what? We're not using it anymore. Let's make that our training classroom. But, the molding, we don't have molding in there. So let's put some molding on the floor. So you need a hammer and a saw and a miter saw and, a nail punch. And so you need some tools. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're going to do that, you could hire a carpenter, but that'd cost more. So you and your husband decide, we'll do it ourselves. We'll get the paintbrushes and we'll get the spackle. We'll fix a couple of those little gouges and, dings and dents in the walls that have been there over the years. So we're going to need some tools. Spackle tools, the spackle supplies, the painting tools, the brushes, the tarps, all that stuff, the drop cloth, all the stuff that you need, the masking tape, all those are tax deductions, including the hand tools. And if you need some power tools, and if you need the power tools that are for this particular project to upgrade the room or renovate the room or spruce up the room, to make it the way you want it for your classroom, those are all tax deductible items. Absolutely. Because you wouldn't have had them if you weren't going to put that molding on. You wouldn't have painted that room.
And 100% of all these things.
Absolutely. In my opinion, yeah.
Wow.
And if I were audited, I'd say to the guy, look, I don't do that stuff. I don't need a hammer. What do I need a hammer for? I had to put the molding on, and it was less expensive than hiring do you know how much carpenters cost? Do you know how much painters cost? They wanted over $1,000 to paint that room. So my husband and I did it, and we bought, a gallon of paint at the big box paint store. The home improvement store. We got it for under $30 a gallon. We got the roller, the drop cloth. Heck, for under $150, we got the whole thing done. So we saved a lot of money. Don't you think that was? Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I want to
Marty,
hear more about your auditing experiences.
Marty, I'll tell you this. This is not bragging. This is just the truth. We have won every audit. They have never been able to defeat us, including the guys that came after us for $100,000 in what they claimed was unpaid sales tax. There was no sales tax due. They made it up, and these guys are in the business of extracting money at the muzzle of a gun. And yes, you can win, and we win every time. And the only reason we win is because we have our facts. We do it above board. We don't break the code. We don't break the law. We do it honestly. And we have written reasons why we've done everything. And they're rules.